So all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Master, Dharma Masters, and all good and wise friends, Amitofo. Amitofo. My name is Jin Chuan, and as I said before, I'm very happy to be here. I want to start out with a few questions. So my first question is, how many people ever got into a fight with your parents? How about anybody at any point get angry with your children? Anyone? And get angry with their children? Anyone find that when you're in the monastery, everyone's cultivating very vigorously, but somehow you can't get along with that person who's bowing next to you or in the same dorm room with you? You don't have to raise your hand for that one. How many people have found that you really, you're in your family and you have you marry and you have your spouse, but over the years, somehow the relationship doesn't go well. There's kind of built up resentment. The reason I bring up some of these questions is because these were the questions that brought me into the Dharma. Because when I came, maybe about high school, I saw that around me there was so much conflict. There was so much fighting. I grew up in Silicon Valley, where you have the most successful people in the world. CEOs, now OpenAI is there, Facebook, Google, Apple, right? You name these big companies that are right now leading the world, they're in Silicon Valley. And you would think, wow, they're so successful, they must be very happy. I tell you, no. I looked around the people I knew, and they were successful materially, but inside very empty. Families very broken. People lonely. And their whole lives were driven by seeking external success. And I thought to myself that time in high school, is this what I want to do with my life? Pursuing this external success? And it's very clear in my heart, I said no. N-O, no. This doesn't seem to make any sense. There has to be a better way. We like to say that people live in these families and it's like you're living alone together, right? The kids do their own thing, the parents do their own things. And over the years, from the stress of the area, the spouses don't even get along. Often they don't even talk. And I thought, do I want to do this? So that's what brought me to Buddhism and brought me to meditation. There's a very famous quote from the Dhammapada. It's a question the Buddha asked. It says, what brings you more happiness than all your loved ones, all your family? I can also say maybe all the things going your way in the world. What brings you more happiness? Anybody know? The Buddha says, a well-trained mind. What brings us more pain and suffering than all of our enemies? Everything not going our way. The Buddha says an untrained mind. To me, that was very powerful because you realize our happiness is not dependent on external conditions ultimately. It's up to us in training our heart. Just recently, we visited a cancer center nearby, and I was deeply moved. There is this man, bedridden, lying there. And Jing Weisher and myself were visiting, and so we both kneeled down so we could be next to him, at eye level. And we asked him how he's doing. We asked him, is he in pain? He says, yeah, I have pain. I have late-stage cancer, not much time left to live. And then we asked him, how's your care here? How are you doing? He says, I'm getting very good care here. This is the best care I've ever gotten. I'm happy. I'm content. I have more than enough. I almost started crying hearing him, because here was a man lying in bed, right? His stomach is cut open, so he has a bag because of his cancer. And he's telling me, I have enough. I am grateful. You know, how many people running after success? Here we're in KL with these huge buildings, right? On these top floors, maybe probably high business people running after success. And they can't say, I have enough, I am happy. It's, I don't have enough, I need more, right? My sense is, this actually was a Buddhist, I believe. And my sense is he actually nurtured his heart, which is why at the end of his life, he can be in pain, but still be happy. And that's what the Buddha offers. He says, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional.